We're going to shift gears in this episode and we're going to dive into the first car I ever owned, the 1970 Chevelle. Now it's time to get this old girl back rocking and rolling. Welcome back, my friends. We are on part 2 of the 1970 Chevelle build. For all of you that are new to my channel, let me introduce you to a very special project. This is actually the first car that I've ever owned. It was a project that me and my father were going to build together. Unfortunately, he passed away, and I still have the car to this day. On this episode, we start the journey of bringing this Chevelle back to life. With new sheet metal from my friends at eBay and AMD, we start completing the puzzle of creating a proper working shell. Then we get into custom fabrication of our one-of-a-kind turbo headers to help us make 1,000 horsepower out of this little small block. Now, the old Steed might have some battle scars and a few extra miles, but it's nothing that we can't fix. With a little bit of love and a little bit of time, we'll bring the old Chevelle back into working order and get thrashing again. We've got a long way to go to make the old Chevelle street worthy, but we're going to start digging our heels in, start blasting the tunes, and start getting after it. Time to get the old 70 Chevelle rocking and rolling. Now, this 70 Chevelle is a lot more to me than just a car. It's actually a project that me and my father were going to build together. Unfortunately, he passed away, and after all these years, it is now time to get this thing ripping. Now, my old man actually wanted to have a big block in the 6-speed. We are going to keep the small block in this thing because, well, this little thing goes. It almost makes up to 1,000 horsepower with 18 pounds of boost, so everything is stout internally with this. But I'm thinking we may put a 6-speed later on down the road. But for now, what we're going to do is wrap the sheet metal up, build the twin turbo kit, make everything mechanically sound, and get this car back up and running and make it an 8-second street car that we drive everywhere. Now, we may not be able to do this with my old man, but we can do it in his memory and we can make him proud. So on that note, in this little mini series, we're going to start bringing the Chevelle up to speed, making it mechanically sound, getting it ready to rip, make over the 1,000 horsepower, and honestly, I just want to enjoy it. I want to go drive it this summer. So this is going to be our little, we're going to have fun. So let's get to it and let's start building away. Let's get the Chevelle running again. So let's dive in. This is actually going to be a fun one. The Chevelle's got plenty of space in it, so I can kind of get artistic. There are a few things that I have to actually dodge. But other than that, it's got kind of an open canvas so we can just go in there and create. I have this idea for a more free-flowing, almost European-looking header that we're going to build to the small block. For you guys who are wondering, this is actually just a small block Chevy. It's the first gen. It's got some good stuff underneath of it. Billet crank, forged rods, good pistons. This thing actually made 996 with 18 pounds of boost, so she's healthy. The guy who originally built the bottom end was a mad scientist, and he did really good with the whole small block stuff back in the day. It's crazy to me to think how far this thing's actually come. The guy who originally built this motor was a local guy named Scott Dickinson. He had a company called SDC Concepts, and he is just a mad genius. He had this thing wired up to Excel DFI, and on his engine dyno, I believe it was somewhere in the 900s the thing made. The rear wheels were making around 730. I know for a lot of race car guys that might not be impressive, but you gotta think this was almost 12 years ago and it was on pump gas and it was a small block Chevy, so it was pretty slick. So the progression of this thing over the years has been pretty cool. The only thing I really did was I put a different computer in it. I upgraded the injectors, put it to race fuel, and then from there upgraded the turbos and I used his stock headers. Then I put a crank signal and a cam signal on it and got rid of the other unit that he was using. So a few years ago, I got really serious about it and ended up going up to a really nice transmission. I got myself a Rosso 400. I got a really good converter in it. And then I started getting a little nuts with the fueling in it. It actually has flex fuel in it as we speak now, so I can run E85, I can run C16. It's all programmable. And then from there, the only thing I started to run into, which we're getting to in this episode, is when I brought it to dyno last to push it past 1,000 horsepower, I was running into a bunch of backflow issues. The old style headers were a little bit choked up for this. The turbos were a little bit smaller. So that got us here. Now we're going to build a bigger set of headers, update the turbos, and then from there, hopefully get this thing enough flow to make it make past 1,000 horsepower. Now this bottom end theoretically should be able to handle around 12 to 1,300 at the crank, which means we should have ample room to squeak this thing over 1,000 and get this car possibly in the 8s. That's my goal. If I get this car 890 out of it and drive it every day, then I'll be a pretty happy guy. Now what we're working on here is an actual jig. It's going to be a platform for me to hold each header in place so I can mirror image it. And then when I go to weld it, I'll actually have a strong foundation so the flanges won't warp. So really all this is a piece of angle iron. I'm making a back plate and I'm creating this custom tab off the front that will hold both of the merges themselves. So here's the fun part. Now that I have the jig done, I can actually start building the opposing side, and I can mirror image it to make it as close as I possibly can to the original header's design. And now we actually have a base to weld to keep everything tight. This will stop us from having warpage later on with our flanges and anything else. All right, now it's time to kick them tires and light them fires, boy. All I'm going to do now is just take every single piece from the opposing side, measure it and cut it, duplicate it, and piece this other side together. Tech time with Donaldo. All right, so I have a little bit of a height issue here, so I'm actually going to take this down. We have a little bit too much of a gap. I'm trying to mirror images the best I can. I don't really have to because you won't be able to tell, I don't think, but for me, that kind of makes me happy to know that everything's pretty much online. So we're going to trim this up by eye, then we're going to do it with the laser here in a minute. But this height is way too much. So I'm going to take off this right here. A little too much. Cool, let's try that out. Yeah. A little too much tightness. That's pretty good. Yep, okay. So let's align this back one. Time to weld using my machine. Tack this on down. Alright, I gotta focus here because if I mess it up, I'm gonna come all apart again. Slip. Hey! Cool. Now, flavor on the cake. We're going back to my eye chronometer for this one. Oh! Let's see what it looks like. See if we're getting close. Two bees! Oh man, this is cool. Alright. Can't get too excited. Gotta like finish it, you know? But I think we're on to something. Very cool. Magically get my mask. Oh, here we go. This will look good when I tack it. If not, we're gonna do it all over again, 100 times until it looks neat. That's sick. Bang this bottom tube on. It does look pretty sick though, huh? We make that we make 1,000 HPs, we're in the money. Now what I want to do is bottom. And this is gonna follow this contour. Match that rotation angle. This tube rotates out. I want to get really good for this for the El Camino. I want to get make this my practice run. So we get to that. I think I'm gonna do what I've learned from this is I'm gonna do less tight radius stuff for that one because we got so much room. And I'm gonna do huge radius just flow like this. And just make it overly complicated, but not as tight. This is tight because I have to clear some stuff with the Chevelle. The Elco, since we have so much room, we're just gonna go make it all wacky. All right, my friends, it's the moment of truth. We're going to take these off and do a little mock-up and see how they look in the old Chevelle. I've got a little bit more steam in the tank. Let's throw on the hood and let's put the bumper on, and it's right there. We're gonna recap. I got it a couple weeks ago. Let's get this thing on and see what it looks like a normal car. Sorry guys, I'm cooked. I'm running on empty. I need a coffee. Oh no, I need to go to bed. I gotta fly out tomorrow, but yeah, put the hood and bumper on and bonus round home. Bonus round. Fight! We did it, my friends. Another episode in the books. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all the love and support. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe to the whole channel and come on and be a part of the family. On that note, I am going to toodaloo out of this bear skin and I'm going to go home and grab myself a little nap. Till next time, my friends. Ooh, yeah.